What's the weirdest way you learned about the birds and the bees? My 14-year-old son wouldn't stop making dark pregnancy jokes that he learned from his friends. According to him, he already knew everything about where babies come from. His eye rolling at health class and desk humping was apparently legendary among his classmates. After 2 weeks of inappropriate dinner table comments, I decided it was time for a real-world biology lesson. Okay, I told him one Saturday morning, "You think you know everything about reproduction?" His face smirked confidently, until I pulled out actual biology textbooks and scientific diagrams. "But we're going to handle this like scientists," I continued. "First, let's talk about anatomy and physiology. I created a comprehensive quiz covering reproductive systems, hormone cycles, fertilization processes, pregnancy stages, and childbirth complications. Then I showed him medical terminology and how reproduction actually worked beyond playground rumors. This test covers what adults actually need to understand," I explained. "Think you can pass it with your current knowledge?" He shrugged arrogantly. "Easy. I've got this covered, Dad." "Perfect. But if you fail, you spend the weekend helping your mom with her pregnancy counseling volunteer work," I replied. "Here's another condition. You also have to babysit the Henderson twins next door for free." I created a study guide with legitimate medical resources, age-appropriate educational videos, and actual textbooks from the library. Each section had detailed explanations he needed to master. He agreed to our deal confidently, certain he'd ace everything within an hour. Reality proved humbling. After 20 minutes of actual studying, turns out reproductive biology is complex. He'd scored just 31% on the practice quiz. "This stuff is way harder than I thought," he admitted. "And there's so much more than anyone talks about." That's when I showed him the real consequences of misinformation and teenage pregnancy statistics. His cocky attitude evaporated when he realized how serious these topics actually were. 2 days later, I found him researching contraception effectiveness rates online. "Dad," he said, looking genuinely concerned, "I don't think most kids at school know any of this real information. Can we maybe have this conversation with my health teacher too?" I smiled and nodded. That sounds like a mature approach to learning. 6 months later, he still asks thoughtful questions about relationships and takes health education seriously, I think. It's weird because he asked me when does he get to study corn videos. I think he just might be stupid.